The EEPROM 9. Remember when I said I'd find a use for this? Well, I think I have. We are going to do a solar project. Another one. We're going to turn, so this is my third one of these, so I've done like 2 others, so I've got a bit more practice at this. These lovely Halloween lights into a nice string that we can put outside the house and look pretty. And we've already got a mounting hole, where we put the earth cable before, and a hole to put the string of LEDs through. So awesome, we've already got what we need, and here's some electronics I prepared earlier. I mean, I didn't actually build them earlier, but I've gathered the bits together so you don't have to wait on me to do that at least. And the schematic we're going to be using is like one of the simplest dark circuits available, which is this. Now you can use a generic NPN transistor, but because I seem to always be using these for a variety of different projects, I am using 2N2222. You could also use 2N3904. There's also the BC variants that I can't remember off the top of my head that are more common over here in Europe. I think I've got some of them sitting on a board around here somewhere. But we're using that. So the LED string goes here, and basically how this works roughly is you put your C there, it can be MIM. I want to experiment with capacitors at some point. Lithium battery that you want to be a protected variant, so something like this is perfect, you know, mobile phone battery of some type. This is from a Sony Ericsson, so quite an old Sony Ericsson as well. I think my dad broke it by smashing it against a cabinet or something, I don't remember. He did break one of his phones that way. So you have the diode to stop the battery discharging through the solar panel, but we're using a jockey diode, or however the hell you're supposed to say it, because it's got a weird spelling, like most of the English language words, because it offers the lowest voltage drop. And we've even got a list of the different types of diodes in their actual schematic, and I should update that schematic with the little tabs going that way and that way, or however it's done. So basically what happens is so the solar cell's charging, so it basically holds the, because it's an NPN transistor, the base needs to have a positive signal, has to have a positive signal going through to be able to switch on. So the solar cell basically holds it negative, and when it goes down, depending on the resistor, this will allow a positive signal to flow back out, so it can flow back through to the battery, and then the negative can go wee like that up through the I don't know why they've got the emitter and collector around on them, because they always seem to use the collector as the output, not the emitter. They should change that. Current limiting resistor, in this case I needed 100 ohms for this particular string. These strings are not at all consistent with each other, so that's a fun fact. You will need to do this on a string by string basis. These are from B&M because, well, why not? These are a disgusting, like, ghastly vomit green. I personally don't particularly like this colour, but we've got the light, so we're going to put them up in the garden and make them look nice. And they can go up with the other sets of, like, the orange ones that I have up. And we're going to use this as an experimental containment thing for the solar panels, because the other one is actually currently contained in a spotlight. But yeah, so when that transistor switches on, it allows the LED string to light when it gets dark, because this is essentially deleted from the circuit by then, which means that the positive signal can activate that transistor quite nicely. So the electrons can go out through there, through the diode and up to the battery finally. Conventional current just confuses the way transistors work. I swear the way transistors work is actually the complete opposite to how it's said, but never mind. What we care about is when it's dark, that needs to be positive to switch on the transistor, and when it's light, you want that to be as negative as possible. And I found 100k is about the right value of resistor to go there in my experiments with my particular solar cells, which are all salvaged from old solar lights from years and years and years ago. And I dug out these and repaired him. So that was fun. So we got our 100 ohm transistor, 100k, our diode, and we have my schematic, which is very important because that's kind of important. Now, I'm not going to actually attach these directly to the solar panel, but we have got that going. Oh god, now let's move the the light string over there out of the way and the Doritos pot. So yeah, this will be mounted outside rather than inside house decoration. Hang on. That's better. Get that out of here, stomach, before that causes problems later down the line and causes indigestion in bed later. Indigestion. All too common. Always keep a pot of Gaviscon in the house or the tablets. I have the tablets in my work bag actually, but well, they might as well come out my work bag because I haven't been to the office in months. But don't worry, I'm still on the payroll, or otherwise I'd have to become part of organised crime because I got a mortgage to pay. So I'm in an organised crime. That's an interesting thought. What kind of organised crime do I think I'd go in? I think I'd go into cybercrime if I was going to go into organised crime, because I have skill sets there that would actually be kind of useful. You know, maybe you could be like hacker for hire or something. Most places are low-hanging fruit because I can tell you were working in the industry, most places are fucking low-hanging fruit. Oh Jesus Christ, the security of most companies is god-awful. Because they don't give a shit. They're not willing to spend the money to put in the resources to have a team in. That's why the company I work for is quite a rarity on that thing. So, the emitter is that way, base, collector. Okay, cool. That is important, and the negative is that way, so that works with the circuit. Good. So this is good. So we are going to have it a bit set up a bit weird, but that's fine. That is fine indeed. So, yep, collector, base, always double check because, you know, you never know what's going to go wrong in life. So we want to loop that round down to the battery terminal down there. In fact, let's tin the transistor. Oh good, it was just the batteries that fell out. Because in there's actually a blown up 100 ohm resistor. There was. Has he mingled with my working resistors? That would be annoying. No, it doesn't look like it. That's good. Simon got bored. What do you expect? Simon got bored. Make things go kablooey. We should do more of that on the bench. Now we've got more of a better setup for it. I mean, I won't be setting up the microwave transformer on the bench. That's still like set up in the back garden job, but you get the idea. You don't want to be blowing the shit out of, well, your lovely workshop that you spent hours and actually hundreds on making nice. You know, it's like that whole thing with the, you know, the music artists that smash their instruments afterwards. I never got that. That just seems so bloody wasteful and waste of time. Ah, here's the blown up 100 ohm resistor. Some would say he should go and... Let's move these out of the way because they aren't doing anything useful at the moment. I was doing some lithium battery stuff earlier that wasn't in blowing them up. I know. Occasionally I don't blow shit up. No, as much as I love photonic induction, I don't tend to replicate what photonic induction does all the time. There's only one photonic induction and we miss you, Andy. Please come back. We also wish you are well as well, because that was concerning when he had his video where he's basically said, in unscrupulous saying, actually considering suicide. It's like, no, please don't. Please don't give up on life and end it. I remember that when he did his work video, and it turned out he was actually a washing machine repair man, and I was expecting him to be like a power line engineer or something, because you know, Photonic or Andy, it's just so knowledgeable with high voltage and anything high voltage electricity, safety. He knows how he can pull off his little party tricks where he'd cut a mains line with a set of pliers and make the sparks and all that. He knows how to do that safely and knows how to play it safe with that kind of stuff, and it's a fun party trick for us all to enjoy. But when he was going in that video, like suicidal, like talking about suicide and the ways he would do it, and like jumping in front of a train or something, or power line or something. Yeah, that was concerning. It's like, please don't do that. Yeah, life is shit, but it doesn't have to stay shit. It doesn't stay shit permanently, and I completely get the whole thing of like, wanting a partner and not being able to find someone. I completely get you there. I'm in that kind of same situation. I want a partner, but it's just finding the right person is just fucking impossible. Going out and finding sex, that isn't the problem. It's going and finding, someone to actually, appreciate you for who you are. That's the hard part. Imagine if the cell isn't protected. That'd make things a bit spicy. Yeah, we'll put him there. Because there are some of these cells that aren't protected. But yeah, that was kind of concerning when, you got that, and then, Aussie 50 went and committed suicide. That was just tragic. It's even worse with, Aussie 50, because, I was actually friendly with him, We actually would talk and do, the live chats and all that good jazz, and, well, can't anymore. There are just things that will never be able to be done again or appreciated. I get the depression because I get it. I completely understand and empathise with Photon on not being able to find the right person. Then when he does find the right person, they don't allow her into the country. And apparently, the HMRC or whoever it was who's supposed to the immigration people were using his videos against him. Because, as you know, he likes to be quite destructive and fun. But, that just being used against him is just disgusting, really. But that just sums up the UK government in general. They will happily backstab. You know, just look at what they did to Alan Turing. And how they backstabbed him just because he was gay. That's why you can never trust the government. And I don't really blame the tinfoil hatters, because there's certainly a lack of transparency to breed distrust. And actually that is something I would like from the government, is a lot more transparency. Right, so that connects, so yeah, that connects to there, so that one there, and then he can go down there. Yep. And then we'll hook up the one which will be for the LED string. Type job. Helping hands, they're actually really quite useful. Imagine if I put this together and it didn't work. Like, no! Do the Darth Vader, no! Thing that everyone hated when that happened in the prequels. The prequels are not the best of Star Wars, but I don't reckon they're as bad as everyone made them out to be. You know, there's still some things in those films which are actually good, like the fact, you know, unlike the modern ones, they're actually a continuation of a story that George Lucas wanted to tell. The new ones just feel like they're made for the fact of sequels make money. And while The Force Awakens was cool, the main criticism that is very valid is the fact it's basically just a rehash of A New Hope. And we kind of already established that, you know, that film already exists. And then The Last Jedi came about, and that was kind of the big sort of like, you know... that film like was one of those ones which would have worked if it was a bunch of completely unrelated scenes, because there were scenes in there that were absolutely goddamn beautiful, you know, the whole thing. You know, the whole starship light speeding into all the Empire, and then there were just things in it that didn't make sense. Like, after that move, how the hell can the Empire be able to mount a full-on assault against the Resistance when half their fleet's been obliterated? And the flagship, which had all the main equipment on it, has been obliterated. It's just... a lot of it is just nonsensical nonsense, to be frankly honest. And it's a shame, actually, if you ask me, because, you know, it would have been cool to see, you know... it actually make consistency from a storytelling standpoint, which we didn't get. And that's, you know, that's my main gripes with it. Is that it just, well... kind of was just a bit, well... yeah, the storytelling point was lacking. The acting and all that, fine, you know. The actual scenes, the cinematography, that was pretty damn stellar, and, you know, all that kind of jazz. Acting and that, good. I wouldn't fault that, but the bits I do fault is the, well, the terrible, well, overarching plot, basically. It was a bit rubbish. And that should be working. This is like our test LED. So let's just solder our test LED in place. Our test LED is an RGB. I'm sure there'll be someone somewhere, oh, what are you doing soldering onto a live battery? And it's just like, it doesn't matter. Oh, something just failed. Something just failed, and I don't know what. Let's put that up to the light. What just failed? Solder somewhere popped off where it shouldn't have. Oh, that's annoying. Did something short out? Let's just reheat all the solder joints. Yeah, that is odd. Let's check the voltage on the battery then. Ha! We've had a failure. We don't know why. Interesting. Maybe the battery just ran out. 3.83 volts. No, that's actually a fine amount of voltage. Oh, and look, it's just come back. What the hell? What the hell? That was captured on film. I don't know what the hell happened there. Can we make it do that again? We made it reset. Oh, yeah, we made it do it again. Does probing it make it come back? That is so bizarre. That is so bizarre. What if we just give it a little short and bring it back? Don't know how good of an idea this is. Oh, we got a spark. Yeah, it's not outputting any voltage. So yeah, it's got a protection circuit in there. Apparently the way to reset the protection circuit is to use a solar panel. So let's solder on the solar panel, shall we? That is bizarre. So if you gently tap it too hard, it resets and then it dies and then it comes back randomly. So we put it up to the light and we put it away from the light and we are not back. We are not back in the room. My God, what the? How bizarre! I wonder if any of you can put in the comments what the hell's going on here, because I don't think I'm going to figure this out. Oh, he's not coming back online now. Because apparently doing this is supposed to bring it back. In fact, it does bring it back on one of mine, but this one, you short him out and he don't come back. Oh, we might have had voltage then. What's going on? Hang on. 3.82. Okay, we got voltage back. Is there something wrong with the diode? Because I didn't actually test him when I pulled him out. This is where we play the component troubleshooting game. That is not a jockey diode. But then it's sitting between the resistor, isn't it? The thing. Why is that not working? It should be working. I mean, we've seen the circuit works. The circuit is as it should be. Let's just desolder that diode and see what we can see. That's bizarre. Remember what I said? Wouldn't it be funny if there was some sort of problem that led to it not working? It leads to a random load of live troubleshooting that I don't know what the hell I'm doing, because who does know what they're doing when they're troubleshooting? It's just kind of test a load of things and see if you can figure it out. Okay, 173 voltage drop, or point. Then round the other way we shouldn't get anything. And we don't, so there's nothing wrong with the diode, that's fine. Okay, the diode's good. I wonder... I'm beginning to suspect the LED might be the problem. Meanwhile, I've got a whole glue stick like being melted away and wasted right next to me. So we've got no voltage there, but do we have, and I'm just going to use the multimeter up there and tell you what it says. Do we have voltage here? Yeah, it's outputting voltage to the LED, which tells me the LED is being dodgy. It's the LED. So let's remove that LED. If we put him on the tester, where is the tester? The tester is not over here at the moment. So if we just grab another LED, because I kind of like to be able to see what I'm doing, you know, check the circuit's working before I solder it to the string and all that, because we basically finished the circuit at this point. And your test LED dies on you. Probably because I soldered it one too many times or whatever. And then I realised I soldered it on the wrong way round. There we goes. Boom! Boom! It was working! And then it fell off. I wonder if I overheated it. Boom, not failing. I wonder if I overheated that LED and caused it to fail that way. This thing sat in my Park Bits box for years. I picked it up in Maplin, never used it. Now I'm finding I'm using it all the time. So it's been like one of those sleeper agent type things, this LED tester. I guess it all depends on what types of projects you're working on. Yep, that LED has failed. It's dead. Well, that's a shame. One of my RGB LEDs died. Well, that's an absolute crying shame. And then, when we bring up to the light, it should switch off. Ah, there we go. It doesn't switch off on the fluorescent light, so it doesn't like the fluorescent light. But it does switch off on the other light, so we might need to use a larger resistor. Larger than 100k. Or we could rely on leakage through the solar panel, that can work. If I remove... Let's try removing the 100k and see what leakage through the solar panel does. Because this is a good indication on the actual... This is one of those ones that's not going to be very sensitive. Just like with the one downstairs that's already in the garden. Oh, that's fun. Now that's odd. There we go, it just reset. Oh, this circuit's behaving very weirdly. Okay, I'm going to take this off for now. Because we need to shape this to the inside of the Doritos thing. And rather than fart ass around doing it like that, we're going to do it like this. And yes, we're using hot glue, and yes, I know hot glue is not the best solution for this, but I've got to ration my epoxy because Poundland is not open. Poundland is still closed from lockdown, and it doesn't look like it's going to open anytime soon. So we're currently using the stuff that looks like spunk. Yes, I have hot glue that looks like spunk. Don't ask me why it turned that colour, it just did. And now I'm running out of hot glue. How annoying. Isn't that just infuriating, children? I want to do arts and craft. We've run out of hot glue. No! So actually what I'm discovering with this, the other set that isn't very sensitive through the solar panel is another silicon set. So I'm actually discovering that amorphous solar cells, this type, are actually better for this circuit than silicon ones. So that's an interesting little discovery, actually. And this is the kind of stuff you just discover through just building this kind of stuff and, you know, experimenting and seeing what happens. Oh. We've got normal coloured, non-spunk coloured glue stick now. That's it. Run, run, run. Run, little glue stick. Run, run, run. Run down the glass like diarrhea. Here, here. I'm hoping that the glass will help protect it from the UV, because glass does have some natural UV protection, but it's whether it's enough. That is the real unknown. I've got to let that heat up a bit. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Here comes the farmer with his gun, gun, gun. This is a point where I should stop and pause, but I'm not going to give you that luxury. I'll stop doing that now. Now what I want to do is keep this separate from the lid, because I'm going to want to remove the lid so I can use the bolt here that used to hold the earth lead to hold it to the fence post basically, and then it will sit up like that kind of deal. That's the theory anyway. Oh, there we go. She's back dribbling blobs on my desk. I call it my desk, but it's actually a chest of drawers that I removed the drawers from. Oh, let's just do this manually. Oh no, that's even worse. Oh God, this is one of those horrible glue sticks that's like sticky and all that. It's like all sticky shit inside it or something. Case in point. Case in point. So yeah, that's sometimes what happens. You have something to test something and it dies on you. I think that should be enough hot gluing the solar panels in. I think that's gonna hold at least for a week in the sunshine. So the next thing we want to do is we want to get the LED light string, which is hiding somewhere around here. Where did I put him? Here he is. Am I going to put him outside tonight? I'm probably going to put him up at the front actually. So we take the little try-me thing off the top. Mum reckons I've gone completely over the top on my whole custom solar lights in the back garden thing, but I disagree. End of the day, it's my house, I pay the bills. I can put as many goddamn lights up as I want. It's just like Cave says, I pay the goddamn bills, I can talk about the control group all goddamn day. That gives me an idea. Make more pre-recorded recordings. I love how they do the character of Cave Johnson in Portal, it's pretty entertaining. Of this crazy businessman who kind of makes sense, while so much crap at Aperture really doesn't make any sense. Because Cave wasn't going to have reason and logic tell him that that was a completely impractical, stupid way of doing it. No, he'd fired the guy who mentioned that. Why is so much of our science dangerous? Why not marry safe science if you love it so much? In fact, why not invent a special safety door that doesn't hit you on the butt on the way out? Because you are fired! That's right, you. Car. Get your stuff. Car, parking lot, go. It can go in my little storage area for battery things. This wonderful wiring here, we will do some soldering on, move our little RGB goodness out the way. Oh, he almost fell on the floor. We're running out of space. Actually, the workshop, since doing these upgrades of the shelving, is so much better. I have so much more room to move, which is good when you're messy like me. I imagine you think the rest of my house looks like a shithole, but no, that's just here. That's just my workshop. Oh, we might get the video cut out in a bit, so I kind of want to get this finished up to a state I can I can be like, yay, we're done, and then I can do the final titivation off camera. I'm not sure which one's negative and which one's positive. Wrong way round. If there's a 50-50 chance, then I'm going to get it 50-50 wrong. Then I'm going to make the wrong choice. Boom! And the nice thing is, these are only consuming about 10 milliamps. Boom! And we're done. So I'm going to leave it here. You kind of know that we're going to solder this on to here and here. So I'm going to leave it here, and thanks for watching, because the video is going to end soon. And I hope you enjoyed, and we will have this up in the garden looking awesome in no time. Actually, I'll pause it. Hang on. And boom. This is Cave Johnson. We're done here. Because all I need to do is put this on the shed roof. Thanks for watching.